Dad, you did that in the nick of time.
In this episode, we explore some really wild places of Fiji. We find adventure, fun and tranquility.
You and me, we're family. The bond that we share is as deep as the sea. No matter how rough things may come to be, you and me, we're family. Sing ho.
So we're just leaving Paradise Resort now. We stayed here a couple of nights. It was really nice. We came in just as we were getting dark, and one of the guys came out and actually picked up the mooring buoy for us and passed it to us. So they're super friendly and super helpful, and really cruiser friendly here. The boys are down below doing their schooling.
Is it helping you get your school done?
Definitely, 100%.
You in?
We already finished math.
It's amazing what a few cinnamon buns from the local bakery can do.
So we're just coming up to another anchorage halfway up the island because we think we can access the waterfalls from here. But the charts are very inaccurate. I mean, by several tens of meters. We've got a anchor on there just looking for bommies and shallows. And I'm following two different charts, both by Navionics, but both saying different things. I'm glad the sun's high in the sky because the water's very clear and we can see, well, mostly see the seabed.
Today we are going towards the waterfalls, and on the waterfalls is apparently a water slide. Water slide's slightly different because it's like a nature's water slide, and I think like the river's kind of carved a slide into the river, and yeah, so it isn't man-made. It's like, yeah, like I said, a nature's water slide. Cut. Oh gosh! Whoa, Dad, you did that in the nick of time. I love.
Getting to shore with our dinghy was not as simple as we thought. We had to get our dinghy over a coral reef without damaging any of it.
Well, would we get over these bits, you think, in between?
So we were just like going through. We were about to anchor off from the beach, but then suddenly there was loads of bommies. So now we're trying to paddle in, but we don't know where to go. So yeah, we're just here trying to find the place.
Over there. I'm assuming this is.
One thing we've noticed all over the world is the amount of plastic on all the beaches. Like even here in like one of the most remote places in Fiji, you just find like pieces of plastic everywhere. Like even if you just walk along the beach. An old trainer. This is in Fiji and there's still plastic everywhere. So it was a bit sad, but let's hope the water slides are going to be really cool.
So far so good. We anchored our boat in a very random anchorage, and we managed to bring our dinghy ashore to a random dinghy kind of spot past the coral, and met this guy. Everyone's so nice here. This taxi guy picks us up, and really happy guy. Again, it's so easy to communicate with them because they all speak English. Yeah, and he just said that, you know, we walk up this track and then we see some steps and then we just slide down it, and he's done it before. He said it was really good fun, so I'm kind of looking forward to it, but a little bit nervous as well.
It's funny because a lot of the native plants around here are kind of what you get for house plants back in sort of Europe and America. So it's like walking through a jungle of house plants.
Elephant ear leaf. So we don't want to touch it when we're wet because then it will be itchy.
Yeah, and they use it to cover things and cook things.
Oh. This is cassava. So if you hear in like some markets, you see like, oh, the tropical cassava. This is the plant right here. It kind of looks like a cheese plant actually. So I found this really cool grass. So in England you have something called sticky weed, but here we have like this weird grass stuff, and it like sticks to you like that. And if you look closely on it, it has loads of tiny spikes. So over here we have the mimosa. So we're gonna stroke it and then you tap it on the stem like that.
So we learned a bit of this in Suriname, but we also confirmed it here that they use it. There's a lot of good properties in it. There's oxygen inside the roots, So the lady before said that she believed that it actually puts a lot of oxygen back in the earth, but it's also used for lots of anticonvulsant, it's an antibacterial, there's loads of good sort of medicinal properties for it as well.
And the water slide was a lot of fun. There was a load of kids up there. They kind of showed us how to go down it, and then we just sort of hung out with them and loved it, trying to stand up and do all the tricks that the local kids do. We always encourage our kids to try and enjoy what nature has to offer, but honestly, this beats all parks that we've ever been to.
So scary. Once I put my hands out and now my wrist is sore because it bashed. But yeah, that's crazy.
What's that for? And what do you call this place?
This morning we are heading to the top of Tavanui because we really want to see the national park on the other side.
We're going to the national park. We've got a couple of taxis.
There was another national park that we wanted to visit on the northeastern side of this island. So we got the dinghy secured up on the beach again.
So we're going on a walk. This is Joe. He's answering all our questions, guiding us, and we're going to go up to the two waterfalls. What's the name of the waterfalls? Oh, it's in the Buma National Park, isn't it? Yeah, in the Buma National Park. But there is three, but we're only going to two, aren't we? Yeah. And the road is very bumpy. His father's driving very carefully, and but there's a lot of rocks we keep hearing.
The road was precarious, and we found out that at times it had been completely washed away during cyclone activity. There was a fee for each person to enter the national park, but we're happy to pay this because it supports the local economy in a sustainable tourism activity.
Thank you. This is it. We are ready to go.
By supporting this economy, it also means that the signs and the paths are all maintained for us to be able to walk up them. The first waterfall is by far the largest.
So we're almost at the halfway point in this viewing platform, and just met some of the local guys who were kind of harvesting some of the wild fruit and the yams and the coconuts. And it really is, it's like a Garden of Eden, you know, there's just like stuff growing everywhere.
Luckily, there hadn't been any rain for a few days, so the creek was pretty easy to cross.
It's not too bad actually. Apparently it can get really high the river, but it's not too bad today.
So Darry's got this thing about his crocs. He's been up to lost cities in Colombia in the jungle. I think there is jungle crocs. He goes everywhere in them.
The second waterfall was pretty impressive as well, and this is where we decided to stop and have our picnic lunch.
The rocks are really slippery, and I imagine when it's been a lot of rain, this will be covered with water. There's actually so much green, luscious plant life here that it feels like it's really dark, like late, but it's because it's so dark, but it's not actually, it's just because there's so much green, and there's some really weird things growing here.
Amazing.
It was a real treat to arrive at the third waterfall. It had a real serenity about it. It's kind of strange how when you get to waterfall, it's so peaceful, but actually it's really noisy from all the water. But for some reason, I don't know why, it just feels like somewhere where you can really chill out.
Well, that was a lot of fun. That's the tallest waterfall on the walk, so we decided to go for a bit of a swim.
Really good with this thing. Little friends on this walk. A bit scared.
Just suddenly come over really dark, and you can hear the thunder in the distance, and the rain started. It's surprisingly dry down here on the canopy, but up there you can really hear the rain going for it. And it's time like this that you start to wonder whether you closed all the hatches on the boat, and whether you actually park the dinghy far enough up the beach in case there's any sort of storm surge.
Sometimes those worries and fears are actually not unfounded, which you'll find out later on in this video.
Spoke too soon when I said it doesn't reach the canopy floor. It does eventually.
There's so much noise and so much sound. I'll see if I can get ahead and get it. The funniest thing for the kids was that when it started raining, all the frogs decided to come out and play.
So what else are you going to do in a jungle rainstorm apart from catch frogs? So after a fantastic walk yesterday, we went up to the mountains and we did the 3 waterfall walk, which is you progressively get higher up the river. You get these increasingly more beautiful waterfalls, and we had a swim in the top one. But then the heavens opened and we absolutely got swamped. And when we got back, Ewan had left the hatch open on the foredeck, and the boat, the forepeak was absolutely drenched. So not only were we soaking wet and our backpacks were wet, we had a wet cabin, so we spent rather a damp night with lots of wet things hung up all over the place. And more rain last night, and then more rain this morning, and now we're moving on.
Thank you for watching and enjoying these videos. So if you're the type of person that would like to thank us in return, then you can simply click on the super thanks button below, or otherwise you can support us on Patreon and get more than just 4 videos a month from as little as $3 a month. We look forward to seeing you there.